Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, I want to talk about 3 players who were released recently that maybe could have some interest from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And again, I've talked about this in separate videos in the past. These are possibly going to be the types of guys that the Buccaneers may look for, right? Cap casualty types of moves, maybe veteran, cheaper types of moves are the types of things the Buccaneers may do in this upcoming free agency because they're going to have to spend so much money bringing back a lot of their own critical free agents that they need to bring back. So the first guy that I want to take a look at is Lawrence Guy, recently released from the New England Patriots. He is a one-time Super Bowl champ with the Patriots as well. He is 6'4", 315 pounds. He is going to be 34 years old by the start of this upcoming season. And this guy is a vet, true and true. He has started 122 games in his career, folks, as you guys can see right down here above the New England. 177 total games played. He's been a starter in New England since 2017, where he has played so many games. 110 games played, 103 games started for New England. Isn't necessarily a guy who's going to get you the most sack numbers in the world. I would definitely say he, at this point of his career, would be more of a rotational, more of a maybe a run-stopping specialist as a defensive lineman, really what he has been in the entirety of his career. In terms of 14 years in the league, he's only had 17 sacks, so he's averaging a little over 1 sack per year. But this could be a guy where if the Buccaneers do want to go a little bit cheaper, or you're even bringing somebody as a rotational veteran defensive guy who you can have play on the defensive end, play at defensive tackle, he may be an option. Jason Light is still a guy who, spent time with the New England Patriots back in the day. Does he still have some connections there that may recommend a guy like Lawrence Guy? I don't know, but he was with the Patriots in 2002, came back from 2009 to 2011, and he doesn't have any direct correlation or overlap with Lawrence Guy, as far as I know, because then he went to the Eagles for a good long while and then was with the Arizona Cardinals for a couple of years in that mix as well. As far as I know, Lawrence Guy has not spent time with any of those teams. He was with the Colts and the Chargers and the Ravens and back with the New England Patriots, but if there are some people in those organizations that Jason Light still knows, maybe this could be a connection there, especially with the vast, amount of time that he played with New England. Jason Light was there, a couple of times throughout his stint as an NFL general manager. He's had some connections with the Patriots in the past as well. Also, it's important to note he spent time with the Patriots in 99 to 2001 as well. But, point being is Jason Light has gone to the former New England Patriots a couple of times in the past, not a ton, but it could be something he may explore there in the future if he wants to look at a, veteran guy in Lawrence Guy, who's also a good piece for a locker room as well. Another New England Patriot that was released recently was Adrien Phillips, which is a former Pro Bowler and a former All-Pro. Now, Adrien Phillips had his Pro Bowl All-Pro season back in 2018, where he started in 7 games. He had 94 total tackles that year. He also made a Pro Bowl. What did he make the Pro Bowl for? I want to see what the heck that was for. Did he make it as a center or a safety? Sorry, did he make it as a special teamer? I'm interested to see what the heck happened there. It looks like, okay, he was an All-Pro as a special teamer. So this could be a guy who is brought in as some cheap safety depth, but also a guy who could be an excellent special teamer for you as well. He has started 62 games in his career, 131 total games played, so he's got a lot of experience. The Buccaneers have had some issues with secondary depth in the past and also some special teams play as well. He's accumulated a lot of stats in his career, over 500 tackles, over 22 tackles for loss. In terms of interceptions, he only has 11 in his career of 10 years. But again, you go back to the New England Patriots connections. He was with the Patriots the last 4 years of his career, spent a lot of time with the San Diego Chargers as well, the first 6 years of his career. could be, again, a veteran option. He's played a lot of different positions. He's also played strong safety, which is a need for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And he was a starter most recently in 2022, where he started 8 games. He started 16 in 2020, 13 in 2021. So the Buccaneers do want to look for a cheap veteran safety that could move around the defense, so to speak, maybe play some strong safety, maybe play some nickel cornerback in there as well. Could potentially look to a guy like Adrien Phillips. And then finally, the last guy I do want to mention here was Tracy Walker, released by the Detroit Lions, former 3rd round pick in the 2018 NFL draft. It's important to note that Adrien Phillips went undrafted, and Lawrence Guy was a 7th round pick in the 2011 NFL draft. Now, Tracy Walker is the youngest guy out of this bunch. You have Lawrence Guy, who is going to be 34 years old by the start of the season. Adrien Phillips is going to be 32 years old by the start of the season. Tracy Walker is a guy who is going to be 29 years old by the start of the year, and is another guy that it would possibly be viewed as a backup, or I would say would be viewed as a backup, but is still in the mold of what the Buccaneers have liked in their strong safeties recently. 6'1", 206 pounds, big safety, right? And he has spent his entire career with the Detroit Lions of 6 years. He started 43 games, played in 79. The most recent time he was a starter was in 2021, or I guess I should say long-term starter was in 2021, where he started 15 games, had 108 tackles that year, by the way, had a handful of passes defended as well, and overall was just a very sure tackler type of safety. Has almost 400 total tackles in his career, 291 solo. This is another guy where, look, he's played free safety, he's played just general defensive back, but he has also played a lot of strong safety in his career. I do want to take a look at what has been going on with him injury-wise, because it is certainly notable that the past couple of years have been, let's say, interesting for him. He did suffer a torn Achilles in 2022. That is certainly worth mentioning. So he does have a recent significant injury under his belt. He did sign a 3-year, $25 million extension with the Lions through the 2024 season. It's for a reason, right? There was at one point where the Lions thought this guy could be a long-term safety for him. He did get a Defensive Player of the Week award in the 2021 season. So that is interesting as well. What's interesting, though, is it does seem like Walker only has had that torn Achilles as a major injury. He did have a knee injury in the 2019 season, which if we go back to his overall stats, sorry, Adrian. Well, no. We're gonna get rid of the Jason Light stuff real quick. We go back to Tracy Walker's stats here, and he did start in 12 games in 2019, play in 13, so that lines up with whatever knee injury he had suffered. But it looks like at times he may have been benched. Is what I'm seeing here in this scenario. 2022, he did suffer that torn Achilles, which is why he only played and started in 3 games. But then after that, it looks like he was benched for the 2023 season. I believe it was because they had brought in Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. He eventually got hurt himself, so Walker did have to come in and start some games, but then Gardner-Johnson came back and was the eventual starter. But, again, much like in the case of Adrien Phillips, if the Buccaneers do want a backup safety that is more in the mold of what they look for, I think Tracy Walker would be a guy that they would consider. I would say out of all 3 of these guys, in terms of Lawrence Guy, Adrien Phillips, and Tracy Walker would be the most, interesting name, in my opinion. I say interesting, but one of the names, it would be the most likely name I would expect the Bucs to be interested in at some type of cheaper contract. But ultimately, we'll see. I did want to talk about these 3 players just because I felt like they were interesting and somewhat positions of needs for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and these guys can sign at any time. So we will have to wait and see. Of course, the Buccaneers still have to focus on their own guys first and foremost, but I do like setting the table. I do like talking about and bringing up names just to kind of keep an eye on, and you never know who can make an impact. But Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions about these names. Does anybody else intrigue you guys that has been released recently? I did talk about Brian Allen. I did talk about some other names as well, but I'd like to get your guys' thoughts and opinions. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed. And as always, guys, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.